with the windows open, soak the dirt from under your nails. You pour a double, put a record on the table. The light's always perfect just before it fades. Bow your head down when you break bread together. Close your eyes and make a circle of hands. There is nothing that cannot be taken from you. In this life, we just hold on to the love that we have. Swing the axe in the hour before the daylight. No sparks that attend to the blade. The thing made free of itself leaps apart, and the heart divided would do just the same. Take the back roads with nobody on them. Find a river, make yourself clean. Go down to water if you would be delivered. Sinner and sin, seen and unseen. Step outside, let the stars reel around you. Cup your hand around the bright flame. In that darkness, let the heavens confound you. It's all just a story, even the sound of your name. I took the back roads today.
From where?
From Alamosa. I almost didn't get here.
You can't get there.
I forgot about how in this room you can see everybody. That's not a normal part of my job. It's alright, I'll be fine. So that's the first song on a brand new record called Blood Brothers that came out this last spring. I'm gonna go back and try to play you a song. I think I wrote this when I was 21, maybe 22. Darkness on the fence post, a whistle from a train, water in the corn rolls, a window to the rain. Count your miles from the lightning, lay your money down, count your blessings against the thunder, take the thorns out of your crown. No more highway rolling, no more sundown ride, no more Carolina, no more Great Divide. The words to keep from dying, there's not a man can find. The words to keep on living is what you left behind. Songs on painted shadows, bleed on broken roads, paved from here to heaven with anything but gold and anything but simple. It always was your kind, from the straight and narrow running along the straightest line. Darkness on the fence posts, a whistle from a train, water in the corn rows, a window to the rain. Count your miles from the lightning, rest your tired eyes. Count your blessings against the thunder, kiss the years goodbye. Starting in June of last year, I was out on the road with a 6-piece band all the time. It was a whole different thing. There were 2 backup singers, so there's a lot of outfit changes. I feel like I go into the green room at every show now, and there's just like tons of space. Like every horizontal space is empty of clothing. I left him in Minneapolis, I guess. Anyway, so then I went out and I've been doing this thing, this solo thing, since January. I'm trying to go back and remember these old songs that I don't think about. So that last song is the title track from a record I made in 2000 that has been out of print for 12 or 13 years for a variety of totally valid reasons. If you can imagine the feeling of printing up like 1,000 copies of your high school yearbook and trying to sell it to people. This is another song from that same record. This is a song that I wrote. I actually wrote this instead of apologizing to somebody. So that worked out great. Well, I guess you're gone to California, and I don't expect you'll be coming back this way real soon. Real soon. It was in the spring a couple of years ago, and we fell in love, but I let you go so soon. So soon. And if I had the stars, I'd throw them on the ground. If I had the sun, I take it and burn it down because I just can't leave well enough alone. I just can't leave well enough alone. So I wrote this song to tell you that I am so sorry, and I hope that you understand how much I never meant to make you cry, and how much I never meant to make you cry. And I guess you're gone to California, and I don't expect you'll be coming back this way real soon. Real soon. Real soon. Those old songs, they have a brand of wisdom, I think, that's completely uncontaminated by experience. It's fun to go back and play them and think about. This is an open D tuning. This is going to be one of the like call and response type of shows with where we talk in between songs. I get it, I understand. Sometimes that happens. Generally, it works better if we wait for a moment in the middle and I'll be like, are there any questions? But this is an open D is this tuning. If I saw you, would you know my name? If I saw you, would you know my name? I used to know you, I used to be your man. We were lovers in the traveling time, blood brothers back when you were mine. Do you remember I was your Valentine? You wanted what I couldn't give you. You would have stayed to hold on to what we had. How could I know that I would live through my life haunted by your sad sad smile. Sometimes I hold you in my dreams at night. I never told you, it never seemed right. But I will meet you somewhere on the other side. If I saw you, would you know my name? And if I saw you, would you know my name? If I saw you. Scare you away from making any noise at all. It's nice if there's like, you know, a little bit of noise in between, you know, during the tuning and stuff. If you want to talk to your neighbor, for example, it's a good time to open a beer. I have something, thank you though. When did I last play Steve's? I don't know. My life is complex, and I have a difficult time. If you ask me like where I was a month ago, 8 years ago. Thank you, Lauren. 8 years ago. That sounds about right. Yeah, we're gonna do this one. So, a buddy of mine asked about this song. I wrote this. I was living out in north central Wyoming for, I guess, about 3 months. And I woke up from a nap and I was thinking about the little county trunk road in Wisconsin that connected the town where I was paying rent to the town where I grew up. Across the flowers on the roadside, where some fool bought it 2 years back. And there's an orchard gone to hell beside a burned out one-room shack. And there's 1,000 sparrows falling, 1,000 shades of black. I'm coming home. And there's a steeple on the skyline, like a single iron nail. There's a windmill doing nothing. There's a low moan on the rails, where the coal train takes the corner and the light begins to fade. I'm coming home. red barn in the half-light, and a white frost in the shade. And in the bars down off the main drag, they're drinking down what they got paid. And I wonder, in all of my leaving, if I ever could have stayed. And I'm coming home. Well, I'm coming home. There's a junked out car in the tall grass. It's never gonna sell. And Jimmy's raising daughters. Jack's out raising hell. And I always said I loved you. I never said I loved you. Well, I'm coming home. And I'm coming home. Coming home. Well, I'm coming. When I did this first little solo run in California last month, I got one night into the tour, and then I lost my voice. I got sick, and I just couldn't make a noise at all. And I had to cancel a gig for the first time, and it was such a strange thing to, sort of thing you never think about, being able to sing. Well, I never think about it, and then turns out I just couldn't do it. And I had already rented a place to stay in Winters, California, where I was supposed to play. So, in an effort to get well, I went to the pharmacy and I got a bunch of, like, everything they had. And then I went to this place where I was going to stay, and I was just going to get in bed and stay there for 15 or 16 hours. And it was a B&B kind of place. And I got in there about, 2 in the afternoon. I wrote to everybody, the agents and the club, and everybody said, I can't do the show. And then I went and I checked into this place, and there's nobody there. And I brought my bag in, and then there was somebody there, and it was a dude, and he was wearing a T-shirt that had my name on it. And he was like, my wife and I drove down here from Redding. It was just about 6 hours, away. I was like, oh shit. And his wife comes out of the bedroom, and she says, it's okay, we were gonna go to IKEA anyway. It's like the best thing I ever heard. Alright, so I started this song in a Mexican restaurant in Mesa, Arizona. And I called it Mesa, Arizona. All alone in a Mexican joint in Mesa, Arizona. Mariachi band on the jukebox and the empty Corona. And the sun gone down in the pale thin paint. There's no one to talk to, and all I can think 'cause your eyes are like train smoke and your mouth tastes like rain. And I know nothing, I'll always know your name. You're my one and only one. You're my only one. And I'm out working in the neon light where the temperatures are falling. Hotel coffee, red-eye flights, and I'm your midnight ringer calling. And the snow comes down from a desert sky. I'll tell everybody something, but it's usually goodbye. But not you. You're my one. You're my only one. You're the one I want to talk to, the one I know to call. You're the one that's gonna catch me when my pride leads to a fall. You're the sky full of starlings, an axe blade shining in the sun. You're the angel who touched the coal against my lips. You're my only one. Real to real, the country rolls, the towns slide by like ghost repeaters. Faded billboards, big box stores, like a movie of an empty theater. You look around and wonder when the seams are going to fail, and how dear the cost of living if everything's for sale except you. You're my one, you're my only one, except you. You're my one, you're my only one. And I'm all alone in a Mexican joint in Mesa, Arizona. Mesa, Arizona. Mesa, Arizona. So then the next morning, I got up and I drove to Santa Fe. And I wrote this next song. I wrote 3 songs in 3 days on that trip. I remember the trip. That one stays in my mind. It was 2005, and it was right before I was going to Iowa to cut a record, so I was trying to finish a lot of songs. So every day I get in the rental car and drive for 6 or 7 hours, I write a song. And then it turned out they were all pretty much the same song. And only one of them ended up on the album. But I still think about them, so. Here's day 2. If you're rolling out west with your game face on, rolling out cigarettes and crying on the phone, it won't take much to make you feel gone. for a night or two. Any town will do. Phoenix to Santa Fe with the radio on. Feels like living in a Neil Young song. You won't feel right till you're fucked up and wrong for a night or two. Any town will do. High desert passes, gas station sunglasses, your heart like a sunset, wild and free. There was always something that you meant to be for a night or two. Any town will do. If your life is a movie in the bar back mirror, and everyone's a stranger and nothing is clear, you could make it alright anywhere but here for a night or two. Any town will do. So next day, you get up and you write the same damn song with different words. There's that line in there about the living in a Neil Young song. I was listening to Tonight's the Night over and over and over again, and so that song Albuquerque kept coming up. One thing you can do if you're trying to write a song is you can take somebody else's song and just copy the syllable content line for line, and then just change the melody when you get done. So this next song, if you were to take Let's Roll Another Number for the Road by Neil Young from the album Tonight's the Night and put it on a transparency over the first verse to this song, you would know that there was a striking resemblance. This one almost got onto a record, and then the whole band voted against it. I don't know what happened, but it's too late to go home early anymore. I can't stand to read the number on my hotel room door. I had one who wants another. I called my wife and I missed my brother, and I'll have one more. Then I got to get some rest. Rolling since the sun came up today, up from Phoenix all the way to Santa Fe. The ashes arcing down the road, it's a high and a heavy load on my shoulders, but I'm gonna be okay. I got love, I've got real love, and I've got love on my side. I spent all night in a pocket full of bills, leaning up against this jukebox, hoping it might kill the loneliness that winds in my chest all the time like a bullet on the radio. It's too late to go home early anymore. The rain is hung up in the streetlight, the moon is on the floor, and it's always Saturday night when you're living in the lights. But this living is gonna kill me on the way. I got love, I got real love, and I've got love on my side. I've got love, I've got real love, and I can't hide. I can't hide. I can't hide. Well, there you go. This is a sort of trilogy that only exists in my mind. I was in the back room there looking at all the posters of my friends and people that have played here that I know from various places. We never see each other. I see their posters. But there's a picture back there of Kelly Jo Phelps, who's a good friend of mine, and then I was thinking about Kelly Jo. Then I was thinking about Doc Boggs, the banjo player. And then I started thinking about this song. So that's how it goes, right? This is why I used to never write a set list, because one song would make you think of one other song, and that'd make you think of another song, and then pretty soon everybody goes home. This is an old song. I used to be a rambler, I stayed around in town. I used to be a rambler, I stayed around in town. And I courted pretty Polly, beauty never been found. Where's pretty Polly? Oh, yonder she stands. Oh, where's pretty Polly? Oh, yonder she stands. With rings on her fingers and lily white hands. Pretty Polly, won't you take a little walk with me? Well, Polly, pretty Polly, won't you take a walk with me? And before we get married, some pleasure for to see. Steve's Guitars Light Show right here. It's so fancy. Well, he led her over the hills and the valleys so deep. He led her over the hills and the valleys so deep. And then pretty Polly, she began to weep. Oh Willie, I'm afraid of your way. Willie, oh Willie, I'm afraid of your way. For your mind is to ramble and lead me astray. Well, Polly, pretty Polly, you're guessing about right. Oh, Polly, pretty Polly, you're guessing about right. 'Cause I dug on your grave for 3/4 of last night. He threw the dirt over her and turned away to go. Threw the dirt over her and he turned away to go. Down to the river where them deep waters flow. Down to the river where the deep waters flow. Down to the river where the deep waters, deep waters, deep waters. Here's a song I wrote when I was leaving the Midwest, and I knew I might not make it back, so I had a bunch of stuff that I didn't want to bring. I had a 1986 Nissan pickup. It's pretty great, and it was blue, and anything that couldn't fit in there I was not going to bring. So there were some photos and journals and letters. I took them all down to this spot where I used to fish with my brothers on a place called the Bark River, an old Winnebago village that burned at one point. It was called Burnt Village. Good name. And I tried to burn all this stuff until it was just like the glowing embers, all the little twirly, all the little spiral notebook ends, and then the wind picked up. And that fire got completely out of control, and so this is like a great warning for being a sort of sentimental, poetic character. Things could just go terribly wrong. So I ran up to the back of my truck and I grabbed the only thing that was liquid that I could see in there, which turned out to be windshield wiper fluid, which is largely alcohol. And then it got completely out of hand, and I thought the county sheriff was going to be on me. Please burn my letters, let them write all the love and the lack. Let the blue meet the black. let my words become fire. I burn your letters, cold or kind, by the river at dusk. From the heart to the husk, every word became fire. We dream our love for a while, and to flash out of dust, all the rage and the rust, gone as it came. Please tell me something I want to know. Where does love go? So I spent a couple nights early this week at a little rented cabin down by the bottom of the San Luis Valley toward New Mexico. And I was screwing around chopping some firewood, and I managed to bust one of my fingernails off, and I need those to play guitar with, so I had to go to the store and get fake nails. And it's still, you know, like I'm a grown up now. It's not really that big a deal. I can buy fake nails at the store. It's always hard to choose, like the pink ones or the clear ones. These are white, which is sort of terrifying, I think. I grew up with older brothers, and I still have this thing where it's just difficult to go in there to the cosmetics aisle and get the fake nails, and then also check out. You know, I usually find some other things to buy. The problem is, if I bust a thumbnail, then the only ones that fit are the ladies' toenails, and that is just really hard to explain to anybody, I think. Everybody's famous, everybody's free, everybody's broken heart shining like a new TV on the walls of a dark room where the world used to be. Everybody's famous, everybody's free. A fire in the wind rolls, a wolf out in the corn. There's a wildness waiting for the moment to be reborn, and your life is only a ticket waiting to be torn. Everybody's famous, everything's gone. If your tongue is sleeping, curled inside your head, like a lion or a serpent, you might as well be dead. If your heart is beating, sealed inside your ribs, it's upon that dark electric, the only love that lives. Everybody knows you. They saw your billboard in the rain. They heard your mama crying when you forgot your own real name. And she voted for your heartbreak. She smiled at your shame. And everybody is famous. They know it's all a game. Everybody's famous. Everybody's free. The kingdom of heaven is inside of me. Oh, I wanna kick the lights out, 'cause I know there's something left to be. Everybody's famous. Everybody's free. Oh, thank you. Are there any questions at this point? All right, that was our shot. Yeah, that's more of an action question, but yeah, I could do that. So more than a few years ago, I made an album of all my favorite John Prine songs, or a number of my favorite John Prine songs. So I'll tell you what happened is I made this record. I went to the little, the old bank building in the town where I was living, in the old bank president's office, which is all trimmed out in wood. It was a little smaller than this, and I just would sit in there and use the natural reverb of the space, and I'd play a bunch of songs. And then I got done, and I didn't have any money left to print the record. And I had just done it as a present for my dad. And, but then the album, the record label that I was working with at the time, they wanted to put it out. So it had a very brief life. And John Prine was a real important musician and songwriter to me when I was about 17, and he seemed so strange. I mean, I guarantee you he's strange, but what I mean is that there was nobody where I grew up who even knew who that was other than my dad, I guess. So it was like my private religion. I did get to give him the record. That's a different story. But at one point, I was on the road. I was opening for Iris DeMint, and her tour manager had been John's tour manager for a long time. So we were sitting downstairs. Once you see somebody show like a few times, you don't usually watch the whole thing. So we're down in the green room. We were talking, and I was like, "Well, what's John Prine's deal? Like how's his thing?" And he was like, well, do you remember when Spandex came out? It's like, yeah. And he was like, John was really into that. You come home late and you come home early. You come on big when you're feeling small. You come home straight and you come home curly. Sometimes you don't come home And what in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? You broke in the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. I got a heart that burns with a fever. I got a worried and a jealous mind. So how can a love that would last forever get left so far behind? What in the world's come over you? What in hell's name have you done? You broke in the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running to be on the It's a mighty mean, a dreadful sorrow. It crossed the evil line today. And how can you ask about tomorrow when we ain't got one word to say? What in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? You broke the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running to be on the run. You're out there running to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run. John Bryan's, he's gonna play with the symphony, huh? That's I played with a symphony one time. It sort of felt like a mismatch to me. I got hired to play the Scandinavian Christmas program of the Minnesota Orchestra. I remember standing up there with 90 really highly trained professional musicians behind me, and about a 50-person boy choir. I'm thinking to myself, I should really find out how this happened. There's nothing, I mean, you may have noticed there's nothing specifically Scandinavian or Christmassy about what I do. And sure enough, after the matinee on Sunday, I went out to the bar with the talent buyer. I said, I have to know why I'm here. And he said the conductor wanted it to be a program about homecoming because all the selections that she had chosen of these Scandinavian composers, they were all about homecoming. So he said, I typed in Americana songwriter Midwest into Google, and you were the first person that came up. So there you go. Ding darn internet again. All right, you guys doing okay? I got a couple more for you. You know, if you gotta scram, it's all right. We won't make fun of you till you leave. That night in Des Moines, the gauntlet streets that died, sunset buildings cut with shade. We sent our smoke up through the streetlights. We sent our prayers out through an old PA. And the night in Des Moines, that night in Des Moines, we were too late for supper. We sat at the bar, we drank 3 beers, and we watched the house filling up with no one. But God was listening. She cupped her ear that night in Des Moines. That night in Des Moines, I picked you up at the airport, threw your ring in the backseat. I shook your hand, and the heat from the asphalt, it was liquid and dancing. And we walked to the front door like a rock and roll band. That night in Des Moines, that night in Des Moines, we slept at your mom's house, drove east in the darkness toward a whole new day. The lights on the big trucks were like gun camera tracers on I-80 at midnight. There was nothing to say. Well, thanks you guys for coming out tonight, and thanks for having me back here to Steve's Guitar. Such a great place. Yeah. I grew up in a little town in Wisconsin called Whitewater, and then just one town over in Fort Atkinson, there was a room just about this size. And my dad took me down there when I was 14 to see this guy play, and it was such a revelation to me, the idea that, well, for instance, that this was a job. That had certainly never occurred to me. But just that a bunch of people would show up in a little room to hear somebody play music without being on the radio or TV or anything like that. And it doesn't happen in every town, so you guys should be glad that Steve is here and he keeps doing this. I will do my best, yeah. Left this town with the throttle open wide. The heater was blowing, nothing inside could ember the darkness or swallow my pride. Oh, I left this town, I was running. I left this town with the milk and the fire, a rattling hollow itinerant choir that cut me and called me, held me entire, and I left this town, I was gunning. You couldn't understand what I wanted. could hold my hand and make it alright. Born into the land of the dead, I was haunted. I could hear the ghost singing on the other side. I left this town with the blood and the wine. A rooster was crowing, my mama was crying for everything born. It's another one dying, and I left your town. I was done in. You couldn't say my name, you didn't know it. You thought it was just a game, but I was gambling my life. You said you felt the same. I said, honey, why don't you show it? I left you standing in the dust by the highway side. Left this town with the throttle open wide. I left this town with the throttle open wide. Left your town with tears in my eyes. I left this town. I left this town. Left this town. Ooh. Thanks, you guys. I had a great time. I'll come back and see you. Normally I would just like leave, but unless I'm gonna go stand on the street, it's not gonna happen. Thank you, that's very nice. So the last 10 years or so, I've been working with a drummer, a guy named Billy Conway, and then the last 5 or 6 years we've always been out as sort of a duo. Sometimes with the full band, and the rest of the time just the two of us. He missed like a 8-hour drive over the mountains today, and I'm pissed about it, but he's my good buddy, and he's been home recuperating from cancer, so I've been thinking about him a ton. And there's this one song that he loves that I never play because I found out that he really loves it, and now it's sort of a thing. Like sometimes I'll write it on the set list and then not play it. But instead of that one, I'll do this one. Try to send this one out to everybody that's having a hard time, which is everybody. You got a heart like a hurricane lamp. You got a heart like a hurricane lamp. And I see you shine anywhere I am. You got a heart like a hurricane lamp. Keep your light inside. Keep your light inside. Keep your light inside. Keep It's a long black night coming down on you. It howls inside where the wind blows through. I know you feel like you'll die for anything true. Hey, you got a light, it shines in you. Keep your light inside. Keep your light inside. Keep your light inside. Keep your light. Thanks, you guys. Get home safe. We'll see you again.